Now listen, this is $200K that we added to our last client in 30 days. And you could have the best email design, email copy, a killer offer, but it doesn't really matter if your emails are landing in spam. I see this all the time with different e-com brands. Their results start dropping, open rates tank, and they just start blaming the strategy, redesigning emails, trying to come up with a new offer, rewriting the copy. But the whole time that they were just trying to figure out what's wrong, in fact, their emails were not even reaching the main inbox. I have audited more than 200 email accounts, and the number one thing that always kills the performance is deliverability. Not email design, not email copy, but just always deliverability. I faced the deliverability of this brand doing 800K a month, and their open rates went from 17% to 56% in under 30 days. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to exactly understand if you have any deliverability problems, why is it happening, and how to fix it step by step. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing is your store domain. Basically, the domain that you send your emails from hasn't had any high quality engagement before. And what I mean by that is that you haven't had any high open rates before. And just because of that, inbox providers are not going to trust you and they're not going to send your emails to the main inbox. The second thing is promotions tab problem. Gmail recently introduced smarter filtering, and just because of that, a huge chunk of emails of different brands go straight to the promotions tab instead of going to the main inbox. It's not that bad as spam, but it still decreases your open rates and people need to take an extra step to open your email. So the third thing is unsubscribe button. Gmail recently added a function which allows you just basically unsubscribe your email even not opening it. And just because of that, for a lot of brands, their unsubscribe rate went really up. And it's not the main deliverability killer, but you really need to be aware of it. And the last one, but the most important one, is your open rates and click rates. And the number one factor that Gmail looks at now is if people are actually engaging with your emails. And that's basically about open rates. If people are opening your emails, if they are replying to your emails, if they are clicking on buttons, then it means they are engaged and they are interested. And then inbox actually sends your emails to the main inbox. And if your open rates are low, click rates are also low, then, of course, your email is going to go to spam or, promotions tab. And most likely you have a question how to check my deliverability health. And the first and the easiest option is just to sign up in your pop-up and check if your email actually reached your main inbox, not spam, not promotions. And you should really also check your open rates on Klaviyo for your automations and also for the campaigns that you send. And the second way you can check your inbox placement, but more detailed, is you need to use a tool called Glock app. I will leave the tutorial link in bio of how to use Glock app because I want to keep this video short. Okay, so now let's talk about the 3 things that actually control your deliverability. Think of these 3 things like a credit score, and if you don't have enough credits, then inbox providers are not going to send your emails to the main inbox. Okay, so the first thing is sending patterns and the warm-up process. If you haven't sent any emails for a while and one day you just decide to send an email to 10K people, then of course Gmail gonna immediately flag you as a spammer because that's what average spammer does. Okay, so the second thing in this block is that if you are starting fresh or you have some issues with your deliverability at the moment, then you really need to properly warm up your domain. And how to actually do that, you need to create a segment of people who engaged in the last 7 to 14 days and start sending campaigns to that list. And there need to be at least from 100 to 1K recipients. And once you see that your open rates are very high, you just need to start gradually increasing the volume just week by week. Okay, and let's also talk about automations. And if you have them in place, then I really recommend you turning on the double opt-in function. It will help you to sort out only interested people, because when people are going to go through the sign up form, they leave their email and the first email that they will receive will be the confirmation email. And once they confirm, only then they receive the first welcome flow email. And in that way, you'll just pump up your open rates, and the welcome flow open rates will be higher than 60+% or even like 55% and more. Okay, and the last thing is actually consistency. So Gmail wants to see you regularly sending emails. And if you just took a break, you were not sending some emails, and then you come back and you just blast a campaign or you just turn on some kind of automation, then you just kill your sender reputation. Okay, so the second block that I'm going to talk about, and I would say that's the one that a lot of people hate, and it's basically because it's a nerdy part, and that's a technical setup and everything related to DNS settings. I also recorded the tutorial on how to verify all your DNS settings, and it will be in the same link in bio, because it's not the most interesting process, but you really need to just follow every my step and you'll everything have in place easily and you'll get the ball rolling. Okay, and the third block and the last one is engagement. So you really need to have amazing designs in place. And one really also important thing that actually no one is really talking about is strategy. It's a pretty general word, right? But I will show you the scope of thinking how it should be. So basically, let's say you are a food niche brand and you want to send emails, right? Like campaigns, monthly. So what you should do, you should come up with something actually interesting. And let's say you are sending weekly recipes. And just because of that, people stay engaged, they open your emails, they click, and you can also push your product there. And also you have amazing deliverability because people are actually interested in your emails and they are opening them. And that's when Gmail really trusts you. Now you can implement all of this and start finally making money from email. And if you want to know the warm-up process even deeper, you can check my previous video where I show everything step by step. So you can run all your emails on your own. And I'll also leave the link in bio, so you can check it. And yeah, see you.